roundabout is the one we are able to see right over here. And then the second roundabout is within the palace. And as you drive here, you do not go through the roundabout because it is only the king of Buganda who is Nantaweta. He doesn't go round. You only go straight. And all the remaining people will have to go round apart from only the king. And it is made in a shape of a long drum, ngalabi.
Yes.
And the road is the Royal Mile, like the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. And at the same time, you can see the statues on the left and on the right. Here, just look here. On your right. So these are representing the different 56 clans of Buganda Kingdom. Now, these are also the trees that also represent the 56 clans of the kingdom, or the Bikaryabaganda. So if you belong to any of those clans, you don't marry anyone from that clan, you do not eat your clan totem, and you cannot kill
You cannot kill that animal.
animal. So these are, if it's edible, then you don't eat it. Because if you eat it, it's as if you've eaten your own flesh. And basically we have unique names. In that by me asking me what's your name, I'll tell you my name is Sebulime. You already know which clan I come from.
Wait, what is the elephant?
They are names of people who are coming from the elephant clan. They are also unique names. So you better do research about
You
the
may
names.
be the same clan, like a Sebulime, Semakula.
Semakula, that is Lugave.
What is yours?
My clan is Nyonyi.
Okay.
So
I
Nyonyi,
thought
that is
it's
fly
yes.
catcher. Yes. Most of the Chiganda names, mostly the men, they start with the letter S. And then the females with the letter N.
Yes.
Namirembe, Nabulime, Nachene, Namakula. So you guys are from Lugave.
Okay. Here's the palace.
And then
so they can take you pictures if you want to take pictures in the palace house, then you can proceed.
They still look the same.
But it is a bit different. Remember the other one only had the middle, but now this one has the side. Buganda, within Buganda we are called Baganda. One person is Muganda. The language you speak here, it is Luganda language. This kingdom has been in existence for over 800 years. In the period of 800 years, we've been led by 36 kings. The current one is the 36th king of Buganda kingdom. And in Buganda territory we give to our reigning king, we call him Kabaka. When he has passed on or when he has disappeared, because in Buganda our kings, they don't die. They just disappear. It's just because of our first king in Buganda, who was king, went into the forest to hunt, but he never came back. And then also the second king was called Chwanavaka. He went to pick medicine, but still he never came back. So it was very difficult to convince people in Buganda that the kings could die. They thought that the kings could just disappear. The disappeared kings, we call them Sekabaka. So this is the title we give to our past kings.
Sekabaka.
Yeah.
And the current?
Kabaka. So here we're having portraits for some of the past kings that we've had. We start with him, he's King Muteesa the First. It is just because the technology of taking pictures started during his reign. This is why we start with him, but just told you we have from King number 1 up to the 36th king. So King Muteesa the First, he's the one who received the first explorers in Uganda, John Speke and James Grant, who are looking for the source of the river Nile. He's the one who wrote a letter to Queen Victoria requesting her to bring his people here in Buganda, who are the missionaries, to teach the people here how to read and write, and then some other English ways. This is the copy of the letter, though this was translated into our local language, which is Luganda. In Buganda, kingship is hereditary, father to son, father to son. The first son doesn't become a king. He's being given responsibility of the family. If the king has very many children, the parliament of Buganda sits, and then they decide who's to be the next king. But it's never the first one. So after him, his son took over. This was called King Daniel Mwanga. King Daniel Mwanga established Mengo Palace. That was in 1885. Though it was made of very tall materials, not like the modern one that we're having there today. His reign was characterized of religious wars, and being that during that time was still under colonialism, he could never be the king of Bunyoro, so that they could fight the colonialists. But they were never successful. They were both captured, and then they ended up in the Seychelles Islands. It was where King Daniel Mwanga passed on, that was in 1903. But later on, his remains were brought back to Uganda in 1910, and then he was buried at the Kasubi Royal Tombs.
Are they here as well, the tombs?
4.5 kilometers away from here. Yeah, so this is how it looks like before it was burnt in 2010. Yeah. So he's the father to King Dauditwa. This one became a king when he was younger than all of us here. But he was given 3 reagents. This helped him in his role until when he became old enough. Now when he was able to take over the kingdom. He was a very liberal king here in Buganda. Most of the modernities, we got them during his reign. He's the king in Buganda who allowed ladies here to start eating chicken and eggs. Before ladies in Buganda, we didn't eat chicken. It's just because it is part of our dowry. In Buganda, when a man is going to get married, the husband has to take some gifts to the parents of the woman. So this includes the chicken. The ladies didn't eat chicken. They were saying in case we eat chicken, we could become infertile. But being that he had traveled, he was the first king to visit Europe. That was in 1813. When he found ladies there eating chicken, and then anything happened to them. So when he came back to Buganda, ladies were now allowed to eat chicken. Though to date it still remains as part of the dowry, but now we're very okay to eat it. He's also the king who first established the first modern palace, the one of this architecture. Only that this, when the palace was attacked in 1866, it was demolished partly. So what we have today is a bit different from this, because it was somehow expanded. He was also the king who first got church marriage. That was in St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe, in 1814. In 1824, this is when football was introduced here in Uganda by him. So he was the first FUFA chairperson that we had here in Uganda. That is Federation of Uganda Football Association. In 1938, he ordered for the reconstruction of the Kasubi Royal Tombs, but unfortunately wasn't able to see the work finished, and then he passed on in 1939. And then he was buried at the tombs still. His son took over, who was called King Frederick Muteesa II. King Frederick Muteesa, he was educated by the British, and here in Uganda he studied from Bodo, he went to Makerere, he also went to Cambridge University, where he majored in political science. He also served in the Queen's Grenadier Army, and he helped in the fight for Uganda to get its independence. Do you know when Uganda got independence?
Moise, when did Uganda get independence?
On October 9, 19... I forgot. 1962.
Yes, 1962. This was when Uganda got independence. So this king, he was the first president we got after independence. He was the king at the same time as president. Though by then we had Milton Obote. Have you ever heard about Milton Obote? Yeah, so Milton Obote, by then he was the prime minister. By then the prime minister had a lot of powers than the president. So with time, it brought some friction between these two heads, which later forced Obote to send his army general, who was Amin, and then the palace was attacked in 1966. The king managed to escape. He ended up in exile in England. So this is where he died, celebrating his 45th birthday. And it was being said that he was alcohol poisoned from there. But later on, in 1971, Idi Amin brought back the body of King Frederick Muteesa, and then he was buried at the Kasubi tombs. All these 4 kings have been buried here at Kasubi tombs. Originally in Buganda, each king was supposed to establish his own palace. When he could die, then that place could become a tomb. So Kasubi originally was a palace for King Muteesa the first. But it's changed during King Daniel Mwanga, being that his son became a king when he was very young. So he couldn't establish his own palace. That's why he shared his father's palace. From then it was decided that Kasubi tombs now be the burial grounds for these other kings. The Mengo Palace has been used by the 3 kings, starting from Mwanga, Adawulitra, and then Frederick Muteesa. The current king is the one here. He's Kabaka Ronald Muteesa II. He doesn't stay within the Mengo Palace just because of the 1966 pride shift. That's why he doesn't stay there. But he comes when there are parties, when he has people to meet. When he also has some work to do. He does it from the Mengo Palace. So she's the queen of Uganda. You know the name for the queen? No. She's called Sylvia Najinda. Yeah? So these are some of the children. They are the children for the king. He has 3 daughters and then 2 sons. So he's the last one, who is around 15 years now. All our eyes are on him. Yeah. And then here we have some of our past presidents. We've been led by 9 presidents. So here they are with the current president. You know the name for the current president? I wanted this one just now to tell. What's the name of the president? Very right, thank you. This is the administrative center for Buganda Kingdom. It also has the parliament. So this Royal Mile has 2 roundabouts. The first one we shall see it there. Then another is there in the middle of the road. Yes. So only the king to pass through straight. The edge of the road was got from Edinburgh in Scotland. It was where the edge of the road was got from, and then it was brought back into Buganda Kingdom. Still on the same road, you're having different trees which are besides the road. 56 of these trees represent the 56 clans that you're having in Buganda Kingdom. Tourists come for wedding pictures. They take pictures from outside. The clan is from the king is from the royal family. Their symbol, it is a drum. It is a drum. It also has the lion. They also have their different names. When you hear them, you can easily know that this one is from the royal family. Yeah, by their names. Yeah, so we can proceed this side.
So there are people who live at the back of the palace, or?
This is a store, but it's still there. Some soldiers that stay.
Okay. So what's the significance or meaning of these reeds? What do they use reeds
They're traditional
constructing
for
the
fencing, our traditional houses, like you said, to do the fencing.
Yes.
And then also when they're building the traditional houses, they're used before the roofings.
Yes.
They are put up there. Yes, we
Okay.
shall see replica bricks down there. Then also on the walls, because they have to put the mud.
Yes.
So they are the first ribs. They put some poles, then they tie the ribs against it, and then they put the mud on it.
Okay.
So that it is firm enough.
Is this the first car or first king's car?
There are some of the cars King Frederick Muteesa owns.
Okay.
In 1966, most of the top men of Obote looted some of the cars which King Freddy owned. The cars that had remained were being destroyed and then buried into the soil. Two of the cars that we are having here were just being dug out of the soil and then brought here. We are having three cars. The one on top, it is called the Daimler Benz. Then we have this part, it moves from here down up to here. This is the car drive. And then from here, this side plus the others, this is the Rolls Royce. Depending on the two arrows it has on the
It was a
fence.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, so there are some of the cars which King Freddy owns, the Rolls Royce and the Cadillac. These are the ones which are being dug into the soil by Obote's men because they wanted to do
Unless the machine.
That's mine. Black and red. You try it, you can try it. You put a spot of blood somewhere, you see it coming. You like that for very long.
What if you keep it in a tube with wheels?
Yeah, maybe in a tube, but not outside. So this is the cannon for Amin.
Does it still work?
It can work, that's if it's workable. So it's Amin cannon. In 1971, Obote had gone for Commonwealth meeting in Singapore. Amin remaining here. He declared himself a president. When Obote knew that Amin had declared himself a president, he didn't come back to Uganda. He went into Tanzania, where he was hiding from, to collect support from Kampala and family. When Amin knew that Obote was in Tanzania, he had to come back and that was from the Nigerian president who was called Gaddafi. It was Gaddafi who gave him this cannon. There are some others which are being taken away from here so that he could fight himself against Obote. It ended up in 1979. Sorry? Obote was able to win with the help of the Tanzanians. Yes, Obote
The
won.
help of Tanzania.
Yeah, he was helped by the Tanzanians, so he was able to win this battle. When the kingdoms had been reinstated back into Uganda, Buganda kingdom asked to leave this cannon here to commemorate the barbaric acts of Amin Dada in Buganda kingdom. So this is why we have this cannon left here in this place.
Wait. What? The answer is that, right?
You're scared. You don't have to be scared. Very strong, not so.
Is that
I know
mud
so.
or blood?
It is mud, it's not blood. It's mud, not blood. So you don't have to be scared, okay?
No, I'm not scared. But still hold my hand.
God.
That's why the sky will become black.
Is it? It's rained in the night.
Here we go.
Okay. Do you hear the voice back? Echo.
For keeping his weapons. But he only used it as a store for only 8 months. And then he later turned it to be a torture chamber, where he used to torture and kill people from those by then who were suspected to be his political threats. These are the people that are being brought over here in this place. This included the clergy, the intellectuals, and then other land people. The place had a big metallic gate outside. It has 5 cells. Each of the cells had a metallic sliding door. It had water inside down here, and the water here was being electrified. These people are picked from the city center and different places. They are being blindfolded. They are packed in cupboards, drove around the city several times until they could become insane when they couldn't understand where they were. Then after, this is when they're being brought over here in this place. As they're brought here, they're being packed into the cells. Being that the cells are small and this is underground, there is no proper ventilation, yet over 100 people were being packed in a cell. So some people could die of suffocation inside there. Others died of hunger, being that these people are being starved, they weren't given anything to eat, so chances of survival were very minimal. Those who had survived from dying from inside the cells were being put into the electrified water, which was down here, so that they could talk the circles they had over the government during that time. This place was used from 1871 to 79, and it is being estimated that 19,000 people were being killed from here during that time of Idi Amin. And from the Oboti used also this place for the same purpose as Idi Amin used it. Now this time he was revenging what Idi Amin had done to his men. So this was the period from 1980 to 85. During the time of Oboti, it is being estimated that 6,000 people were being killed from here during the time of Major Oboti. The bodies, the trucks could come for them every early mornings. They could pack them in, they could throw them on the roadsides, in the King's Lake, and then in Lake Victoria for the Nile crocodiles. They weren't given proper burial. The black lining on the wall, that was the water level. Just here on the doorway, it was where the electric switch was, and the electric cables were just over here. As the guards could come in to put the people into the water, they could first switch off the electricity. When they could move out, then they could switch on back the electricity. From this African fig tree, our ancestors don't to move naked. They always used to put on a bark cloth, which bark cloth is being got from the back of this African fig tree. Its bark is being removed using a sharp knife or panga. You can mark the edges up and down. After, we get an expert who removes this bark from the tree so that it cannot damage the tree. After the bark is being removed, we do tie it with fresh banana leaves so that it cannot be diluted into sunlight. After 8 months, we can be able to harvest another material from this. So when we get the piece from here, we take it inside here. so you can extend it. So when the bark is being removed from the tree, it is being placed here on the wooden beam. And these are some of the tools which we use for the pounding of this bark of the moon. We call it mitoma tree. So this is how we do the pounding. So the more this material is being pounded, the more times it expands, 3 times than the original size. In the first place, we use the mallet with the bigger grooves because it removes the sap and water out of this bark. Then these ones with the smaller grooves, they do the finishing for the pounding of this bark of the African fig tree. Each of these is being used 2 hours. After all the process is done, it is being sun-dried, and then it turns to this color, which is the coffee brown. It looks like leather, but it's from the bark of the African fig tree. So before, this is what our ancestors used to put on. Currently, it is being used in different traditional ceremonies, like for the coronation of the king, he has to put on a bark cloth. In Buganda, during initiation of children here in Buganda, this bark cloth is being used. So currently, I'm one of the artists here who makes some of the artwork here from the bark of the African fig tree. So it is very easy to carry. How you just roll it like this. When you reach home, you can just iron it on the back, and then you put it into a frame. It is a very good souvenir. You can go with and be proud for it is for. Yeah, the prices are very negotiable. We can give you a good price for any that you'd like. Yeah, in case you're interested, you're free to look around. We give you a good price. We have the small ones, the mediums, the bigger sizes. That's the prices range. So stories Z, they are different. So stories equals this height. So have you now seen that Mutoma? This is how we call it. Someone said that I've never seen it, you've now seen it. But you're going to can see it. Does it look like a crop? The heights are from 40